Howdy, howdy, howdy. How is everyone today? How are you doing? Not sure what I'm going to work on today yet. I do need to make sure I talk about some of the things that I've worked on a little bit. Saturday, I was at the warehouse. Did a little bit of wandering around the old trailer. Did a little bit of filming. It was all, GoPro and such. I haven't even looked at the footage yet. I basically had to leave and hop in a car. I really need to fix this remote thing. Hi. There, bada bing. All right, now we're set. Now we're doing things. Man, I had an interesting conversation today with a financial guy. That was fun. Yeah, financial planning in general is, I swear, it's like a dark art of, I don't know if it's good or evil, but maybe it's true neutral. I think it's true neutral. But yeah, just some interesting things to think about. Things like how I should handle, from a financial standpoint, building this trailer and sharing that journey here. That sort of stuff. Black Friday sales are a joke from Renogy still. Oh, anyway, I should probably be talking about who I am, what I'm doing here. My name is David. The channel's called Attention to Detail because I thought it was funny. And I'm here pretty much to share my projects with all of you. And hopefully keep myself working on my projects. I tend to pick a project that I find is interesting and then spend a little bit of time having fun with it and then kind of walk away from it. Whereas I'm hoping that doing this and sharing these things will not only inspire other people to kind of go, hey, I should do that stuff, but force me to stay honest with myself and pick projects that I think I'm going to move forward with and that I'm going to do something with. And that's the plan. That's the hope, right? So yeah, and then I record it all, throw it on YouTube. Hopefully at some point I'm going to start putting some production value into these sorts of things. I might on this stream, I may actually check out some of the video that I did over the weekend. And I've started playing Diablo 4. I had a viewer a while back tell me I should play Diablo 4. And I remember when Diablo came out, that was a fun game. I played a little bit of Diablo 2. I think I played Diablo 3 on Switch or Xbox, I don't remember. And I did have fun with it. Diablo 4 I'm having fun with, but I feel like it's gotten too big for itself. I have issues with games when they start doing before you can play the game, here's 10 minutes of cutscene. Don't get me wrong, I love a good story. I love having a story. It's important. But man, and I know you can skip the cutscene, but I do like knowing the story. I just don't want to sit through a movie I want to play a game. That's what I'm there for. But, you know, it is what it is. And it's still a fun game. You just kind of have to cutscene time. And, you know, when I'm playing it a second time, someone was telling me it's raining where they're at. Hopefully a second time through, or if I even bother playing it a second time through, I tend to not. I'll come back to a game maybe, I don't know, 5 years later and play it the second time and try to do something different than the first time. No more Stealth Archer. Yeah, I'm going to be Stealth Archer. But yeah. So let's look at real quick. I'm gonna load up Vivaldi and we're going to transition to that, hopefully. Yes. Cool. That should be usable. I'm probably going to end up ordering these later today. Just so I can start working on that process. They're going back to my house, not going here, but you know. Yeah, 20 inch is what I decided on. Okay. Anyway, let's look at our timeline. So prep trailer, I didn't do a whole lot of that. I did go, well, I kind of did. It took about 4 hours. I took everything out of the trailer. We cleaned up some of the area around it. Like I said, I've hopefully got some video of that. Or not hopefully. I do have some video of that. Some of it is on this guy. It might be the first thing that I actually edit together. And I do need to add... because I don't have anything in here. I think extras. Does extras currently add to anything? I don't think it does. Because I need... squirrel. No squirrels. No squirrels. Let's go back to the timeline. So we spent about four hours. Maybe it's 5 hours. I did do some testing on the camera and mic. That was part of the 4 hours, as well as prepping the warehouse. Now the researching lube, kind of interesting. I should change when I did that. I did that on the 24th. So my buddy actually just had a grease gun set up. Oop. Squirrel. As I said, no squirrels. Okay, squirrel over. We'll see if we caught that metapod in a second. My buddy actually had a grease gun with the proper lube handy, so caught it. Sweet. So we did at least that first part of lubing up the joints. There's 6 lubrication points, 3 on each side, where all of the springs interact with each other. I do have to still order the shocks, but I mean, for the most part, I can say that these are completed. This one, I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to call them tomorrow morning. So that's actually going to be scheduled. This I'm not really going to want to do until December 3rd. I'm going to order the shocks, I think, today. And the motors. All right, so now we've got that on the list to do. And that's, yeah, that's basically what happened there. So let's take a look real quick, just because now I'm curious. We want modified. Notes today. Let's take a look here real quick. Oh yeah, look at that view. So yeah, there's the four-wheeler. There we go. Syncing audio. Check it out. I had wow, the audio actually does not sound bad. That was when my GoPro decided to be stupid. So this is kind of the space I'm working in. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff to work around. I think can I turn off closed caption here? That's my buddy. So yeah, we got this pretty well cleaned up. We move this bucket over a little bit later. My Bronco. I was just kind of moving the camera around to different places to see what it looked like. Oh, did I get the video of us taking it out of there? I think I did. Yep, there's us moving it. Oh yeah, the tires weren't turning because they were so deflated. We're arguing whether or not the brakes are causing the problem, but the brakes aren't locked up. There's a flat spot in the tires and we're trying to roll it and it's just dragging along instead. If we had been smart about it, we would have aired them up in there. And it's crazy actually. Once I tipped that up, it was he had some wood in there it's for another project, but he has it stacked up right up against it. It's no longer stacked up right up against it. This is a terrible angle, but hopefully this is at least some footage I can cut around. It tried to run me over. That was funny. It's really not that heavy. It's... Oops, sorry. Well, there goes my PG rating. Hear me huffing and puffing. Do you even lift, bro? And woo, we almost die. as the whole thing tries to tip forward once it's empty. Trailers are scary, man. They'll kill you. I think if you look at all the holes in that thing, I think it's this way. It's not going to be a boat anymore. And we try to die. So if you see that little caution sticker, it used to actually have a giant generator in it. These captions are coming up way early, too. I sprayed the heck out of it, but it's just been sitting in the desert. It's kind of a terrible angle. Anyway, there's going to be a lot of editing. I was thinking a lot of this was going to be, you know, fast forward. GoPros. All right. Can one of you guys tell me? I've got a GoPro Hero 10. Why does the Hero 10 overheat? About 7 minutes of this thing being on, and I get a warning that it's too hot. There must be a setting that I'm missing, is all I can think of. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of that footage, because that was mostly stuck in the same place the entire time. This was before my buddy showed up, so I'm just talking about him in the third person. I think I've got a... Come on. Nope. Oh no, does it not recognize that? You know, I've never actually used that, so... Huh. Apparently I don't have that configured. Which means what I need to do is find a USB cable for this. And of course, not being at home, that's going to be problematic. Maybe if I want to, when I take a break, I know where one is, I just have to grab it. Okay. Well, that's out of the way. I am very seriously considering getting... it's DaVinci, but it's by DaVinci Resolve. I was looking over the codecs on it. I think, well, I know that the free version does not support the small profiles. But it does say that it supports MKV, and MKV is supposed to be an open standard. Did it just not? Maybe they've updated it. Let's just do... It's just download only. I don't know what I did. I mean, cool, I downloaded it. Is that the most that should be? I don't think they allow you to use not the most recent version, right? Or download anymore. But yeah, wow. And it's on sale? That's a purchase that's probably going to happen today. Yeah, see, that's result 19, not 11. But there's no just download. One second. Oh, actually, I don't think I can use that anymore. Oh, okay, so it'll let me download only that. Oh, we'll start that download. Let's open folder. Yeah, 11.13. Nope. Just to have that download started. I mean, I'm almost definitely going to buy it right after this stream. But that brings to light the other thing, the first squirrel that I was talking about. Under extras, I need to add this stuff in. Like Plastidip is not really an extra. Oh, that was another nice thing. As I'm cleaning the area around the trailer, my buddy's got a whole bunch of cutoffs of squirrel unown. Centigrade ball, even though it's just another letter. He's got a bunch of cutoffs of plywood and such that are, I mean, for you or me, well, for me, it's not cutoffs. These are full boards, but for him, they're just leftovers from projects that he figured, oh, at some point it might be useful. And he said, take it, use it, because it's basically just taking up space for him, right? So I may not have to actually buy any wood for this project, which that's going to be a couple of $100. Oh, we want. I should probably just grab one of these. I caught the unown. All right. Let's just create a new one. We'll pasta you. We're just going to grab all of these, make sure that they're all. I can probably just do this. Pasta. Get rid of all of this. This is calculated. This is the only if. This is the number of them. Dollar amount. This is weight. All right, the camping table is. Okay, that's, yeah. It's just a link to a bunch of camping tables, so there's a lot of options there. Oh, I saw something crazy. Well, this is probably very well known by a lot of people, but I was at Bass Pro and there was a table with a bench preset onto it, so you just kind of fold the whole thing up. You try to yawn silently. And I need a better mute button. But anyway, it's a table with a bench set up already, and it's got raised edges, and it's basically a portable shooting bench. I was like, that's really cool. I don't know where I would ever use it, but it was still pretty cool. All right, so this isn't. I haven't picked a tent yet. Or a table. The jerry can holder. Yes. The water was before I said what they were. Table. Accessory. Plastidip. Oops. I'll probably put this under finishing. Starlink. Accessories. Stabilizer motors are accessories, maybe. DaVinci software. Like, I haven't found any of this stuff yet. Oh, I do need... How many were there in this? That's a 6-pack for $50. I shouldn't need more than a 6-pack. Oh, but I do need the amount, which is 50.53. And the weight in this case is 0. Table we haven't figured out. I should include the price of this guy at least, 75. Did it have a weight? As usual, they do not have a weight, so we'll leave that off. The weight on this is going to be 0. There's going to be 1. And that's 225. Wait. Oh. Because, yeah, I'm pretty much definitely going to get that, the studio version, just so I have it. I've been meaning to buy it, because I've read that a lot of the features that I want, that I can use fairly easily on the Windows version for free, require external licenses. So DaVinci has to pay for the license for like MP4 and things like that. So you have to buy the full version. Whereas for MP4 encoding and I think some of the audio encoding, Windows has already paid for it. Mac has already paid for it. So you don't need it in those instances. And quite honestly, I enjoy using their software, and I would just rather have a usable version and to give them money for it because they make a good product. Right? That's what we're supposed to do. Vote with our wallets. Oh, and then there was something else that I was looking at, because going forward, if this is going to be, out in the wilderness, I want drone shots. And I had a conversation. That's not what I want. I had a conversation with Maggie about what she would prefer as far as drones go. Does she want something that oh wow, the sale just ended. I'm gonna have to have her check and make sure, because honestly, 2 hours ago, this was $700. Holy cow. They still have the other Black Friday deals. That one must have sold out. Wow. I remember looking over her shoulder and it was $780. So, ooh, I'm glad I decided to pull that trigger today. Sorry. So I guess maybe I can't make the same recommendation. But anyway, I'll just say that when this is on sale, but no, we had the conversation about, what would she prefer? And from everything I've seen of people flying for the first time, this is the easiest thing to learn how to fly. And it's more about how it takes care of itself. You're less worried about running into things. It's got stabilization. The 4K videos is super useful because we're going to be recording for the purpose of this. Well, for YouTube, really. Although it would be really interesting to figure out how to get a drone into stream. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard. Could be fun. Wow. I'm blown away that I got that deal. Like, I hope it doesn't get canceled. That's what I'm hoping. Because, wow. Mind blown. Anyway. Drone. But this now is spent money. Let me put that link in there. Where'd it go? Did I close the window? Like a dummy? I closed that window. Oh no, it's over here. In case you weren't aware, by the way, this is where I put my announcements. I'll put the video announcements, and then I'll also, when I'm doing something that kind of requires more documentation, I'll put it in here as well. I haven't done that in a while. It's mostly just been video announcements, but my intent is to continue using it for that purpose. I'm gonna have to validate the amount, but I think it's 785. No, 785. And I don't really have a budget for charging it. It's not in the power budget yet. But I'm all right with that. All right, so now I can get rid of this tab. We do not need it anymore. We want to go to so we've got power, tent, water, itch. I don't have the, wow. Oh, because I don't have a total on here yet. All right, U equal sum of this. And U equals sum of this. So now I have tent, power, water, and this. And this. And we also want, did I already do it? Yeah. This. That's a rack palm and, oh, now I'm back on weight. I don't think I'm ever going to actually have the weight in here, but I'd rather, at least if I do put a weight in there, it's going to mean something, right? Whoop. Send it. Oh no, I'm out of great balls. Well, we will have to fix that, won't we? Make sure our desktop audio's quiet. Oh, I've been on Be Right Back this entire time. Why'd nobody tell me? All right. Pop that out. Let's buy some great balls. Done and done. I didn't even check to see what tasks I have to do today. What's my trading task? Catch Pokemon with a great ball. Nice. Public battles, attempt catches. Oh, I just have to do any trade. Okay. I know I have duplicates. All right. At 3 A's, huh? I guess we'll trade you. The cockroaches of the Pokemon community game. All right. Well, it's a good thing. Now I can go back over here, and instead of saying be right back, I can actually... Alright, so we created an entire miscellaneous, or extras, rather. And we added it into our overall weight and cost. I added the drone, which we bought for filming. I'm 90% certain that's what the sale was, but if you click on that now, the sale is gone. It is full price. But, I mean, if you're watching me hoping for good deals, you're probably in the wrong place. But that makes me wonder, what's Renogy's current situation? Deny. Applications, off-road. And we want the Pioneer kit. Oh, look. That's actually a little bit cheaper than it was before. But it's out of stock. Ooh. They're all out of stock. Only the most basic one is in stock. I wonder why. I wonder what's... I may end up having to build... Oh, that makes me sad. Makes me sad in pants. So I've got $37.99 budgeted out for that. This one's basically 1,100 off, which is about what this one was. What's this? Oh, they're live right now too. Maybe that's why. Dang, that's $100 cheaper than when I was looking at it before. But I swear I looked at it just yesterday and it was at 3,500. So this was a like flash deal sale. Exactly the same, probably, as what happened with Amazon. Man. I might just have to look at what it would take to build this kit out, starting with this kit. Because it's still got the battery, it's still got the panels. I just need to find a few of these other odds and ends. It should have the same charger. I know it doesn't have the Renogy one, but I can find that on Amazon, strangely enough. It's sold out on their site, but available on Amazon. It is interesting that that doesn't have the year's lowest price sticker. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not buying it this instant, so it doesn't really matter. But makes me sad. Sad in pants. Nope. Although if you are watching for deals, apparently at Sightmark you can get a free set of binoculars. If that's your thing. Alright, what was my next... Oh yeah, I was still working on my extras. So I've got DaVinci software. I'm going to buy that tonight. I've got the drone. What was... What was something else I was looking at? I think that's it for now, at least as far as stuff that's going in my budget. Or that needs to be added to the budget. If I go to this thing and it's on sale, I'm just going to send a link. 8%. Meh. Meh. The only reason I want the 16-inch, and I could probably get the 16-inch HD, but I want the 16-inch specifically because my laptop is a 16-inch. So if I'm doing the dual monitor thing and I've got another one right next to it, then they're going to be the same size. I will probably need to look at a stand for that as well. I mean, I'm realistically probably going to be editing videos out in the wilderness. Which sounds like fun, honestly. But like right now, overall, you know what I should add? Each one of these... Oh, I need... Did I put that on my timeline? I'm going to order the shocks. Yeah, I'm going to order the shocks today. The shocks and the motors are definitely getting ordered today. Although if I'm ordering the motors, then I need to look at the motor driver. And how many of those was it? It's 2 of those, right? Yeah, 2 motor drivers. And then the CAN bus filter. Feather filter. Feather. Same thing. I'm going to order 2 of them. I don't think I need 2 of them, but I am going to order 2. The biggest reason is I may use it for whatever computer I use to interface with the CAN or the RVC bus. I'm going to really have to do some reading on, well, let's look at that real quick. Let's actually, no. I used Bing to search for DuckDuckGo. All right, so let's look for RV-C. Let's look for how these are built. You deserve an explanation, so please don't skip this 1-minute read. Give us money. It's Tuesday, November 26th. Yeah, it is. And our fundraiser will soon be over. Please reflect on how often you visit Wikipedia this year, and if you're able to, give $2.75 to the Wikimedia Foundation. If everyone reading this gave 275 cents, we'd hit our goal in a few hours. The internet we were promised, a place of free, collaborative, and accessible knowledge, is under constant threat. On Wikipedia, volunteers... See, the hardest part about this, there's a lot of bias introduced via Wikipedia. Now, granted, I mostly look for technology-based stuff, but when you start looking for political stuff, you start seeing a bend. And you see attempts to correct that bend, and then it's corrected back. And there's not a problem with that. And that I take issue with that, which makes me not want to give them money. But they're not wrong. But for now, I'm unemployed. My money's got to go into making money right now. Data is contained in packets consisting of a header and 8 data bytes. The header contains an 8-bit source address and a 17-bit parameter group number, as well as a few additional bits. The total bus capacity is approximately 2,500 data packets per second, although in practice, bus loads are much lower. To be considered RVC compliant, a device must support certain PGNs. The application details the parameter group numbers, which uniquely identifies how the contents of the data packet are to be interpreted. The primary work of the RVC committee is the creation of new parameter groups as new components are introduced in the RV marketplace. To be considered RVC compliant, a device must support certain PGNs. These are address claimings. This is mandatory. Diagnostic. Request for PGN. And product ID. A key concept is instance. In an RV, multiple instances of a device are common. RVC handles this using a unique method in which instance number is assigned. So each motor will have to have its own instance. They're all motors. Maybe. So now here's one issue. Like this website from the mid-90s has a lot of useful information. One of the great things is the wiring example. I think I've already done that on this channel, but the wiring example was super useful. Squirrel. It is a ride-on. Returning from squirrel. I think, is it this one? It's the full layer. Maybe it wasn't this one, because this seems... Let's get connector record. Actually, this is super useful. I didn't run into this last time. To make this meet the standards, I'm going to have to revisit some of my plugs. That might be tomorrow. I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm not really doing anything else right now, but... Service port located. Oh, you need a label. Okay. I didn't catch the Rhyhorn. Sad day. I need to double check that I'm okay on the right screen. One second. Water break. There it is. Wait, where'd my mute button go? It's not even a mute button. I just have to remember that that is the label for the thing that I'm trying to unmute. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Messages shall use only canned data frames. Okay, so these are the definitions. There's 500. I would have a problem scrolling through all 512 pages. Let's look for, oops, application layer. The network transport and application layer protocol shall use the base and extended ID field Alright, so this is the field, the bits, the RVC name, and then the description. So priority, this always is basically a check bit to make sure, okay, you're on to the next thing. Identifies how the data packet should be parsed. Possibly in combination. Either determines the target node for the message, or with the DG on high, determines how the data packet should be parsed. Okay. Shall be unique for each node. Defined in detail in the RVC application profile. That's what we're looking for then. RVC application profile describes the communication behavior of several devices. RVC devices are described by attributes as shown in table 5.1. Device attribute. So we have category, default source address, dynamic, and instance. Is there a list of categories? So this is basically the header, and then this is what actually gets jammed in it. The AC points may be implemented in several devices. All devices that report the generation or demand for AC power. No. AC fault. Let's look for we're looking for device category. Maybe we just look for the word category. It's probably going to be categories. Oh. No categories. Category list? Where is the definition of what this category is, though? So like here, an AC point may be implemented in several devices. All devices that report the generation or demand for AC power use the following formats to describe the AC power use at their input, output, and measurement point. So the category is common DG format. The next category is multi-source DG format. Okay. Multi-source, special. So if it's a water heater, it's that type of thing. Gas sensor, chassis motion. So this, I think, would be what they would identify as, right? Which of these DGs does not include a way to immobilize the chassis and is not universally available. Can be queried by any device that needs to know whether the RV is in motion. Okay, no, this is different. This is if the entire thing is moving. Useful. It does give me the idea that maybe I need to find something that realistically checks to see if the parking brake is engaged. So let's add that in here under the extras. We don't know what it is. We're just going to call that sensors. Like, technically this would be a sensors as well. Would be a sensors. Take that to the bank. So it seems like active air suspension, that's a chassis. It seems like I kind of just have to go through and figure out the categories on each one of these, like the leveling system. Mechanical components. Mine would probably be, well, technically it'd be neither because I'd be looking at motors. That might still be considered it's not air or hydraulic. Anyway, that's not what I'm thinking about right now. Slide room. Okay, so it is mechanical components is the category that I need to keep in mind for these things. And that's for a slide out, which is kind of the same thing as a slide up, right? Thermostat, not something I need to worry about. Although I am considering having these things, but that's not what I'm after. I have a feeling that once I get all of the power stuff set up and plugged in, I'm going to start being able to read everything talking back and forth and kind of get a feel for, okay, here's how these are being sent. Basically, just like anything else in programming, copy and stand on the shoulders of giants. Power components. There's got to be, you'd think that somewhere there's just a list of, okay, here's all of the RVC categories. Maybe that was back here. DC source DGN additions. These are all docx. Why? If you're putting files on a web page, files that don't need to be edited, docx is one of those things that It's not even, it's not docx. It's specific. It's using documents in their native format. Sounds like a great idea. But if I wanted to put something bad on a website, I would put it in a document. I would put it in a document that someone would download and needs to execute something to get it to work. HTML or PDF, guys? Come on, please. Even PDF is not 100% failsafe. At least not as much as it used to be. But native documents is difficult. Yeah, I don't think there's comp driver battery. So there is a category just for sensors. But it says tank sensors. And then it jumps over to appliances. Although, this is something I'm still trying to figure out, because there is a water pump that's going to go in my water tank. How do I get the data that this needs or wants out of it? I mean, if I add one of those feathers, I can pretty easily use it for a tank sensor, the previous one, just to, you know, get me the level status, or yeah, the level status basically. But what's the water pump needing? Implicit in this protocol is that there's a single water pump supplying the RV. Actually, there we go. Sometimes RTFM, right? It could also be used by a pressure sensor. So if I put a pressure sensor in line on the out, oh, wall buffet, squirrel. If I put a pressure sensor on the line, then that should give me the information that it's after. Name, water pump status, default priority. I wonder if there is, can you just find an RVC water pump controller? Let's see. RVC water pump controller. Really? Low side 10 amp latching controller. Okay. For water pump controller. What does this give me? Monoplex water pump controller is designed to operate as a low side remote switch in 12-volt DC systems. Whilst the water pump controller was designed to control the domestic water pump in an RV or boat application, its use, however, is not limited to this. It can also be used to control blah blah blah. And it's convenient to switch the ground side. So if I'm reading that right, it has plus 12 switch load ground. How would I wire this up? This just goes to the switch. So does this allow me to turn the water pump off remotely? I think. I mean, it seems to me as though, yeah, here we go. So load goes to the pump negative, and then there's a pressure switch. So with these being momentary switches, does this need 12 volts in? Is that what it's... If it needs 12 volts to switch, that's a problem. If it can switch with like 3 volts, or specifically 3.3 volts, all right, but I am still going to need to, all right, let's get a link. We need 2 places. Oops, we need this guy. No, not common DG format. The pump controller. I also am going to need to find the pressure switch. 12 volt DC water pressure switch. So how does this get wired in? Well, that's not going to go on mine. Let's go back to the thing we were looking at, because it had a pretty cool wiring diagram that showed it in place. Pump, water pump pressure switch. Now I do know that the tanks that I'm looking at using, they cannot, or should, I shouldn't say should not, they cannot be pressurized. So all of the pressure has to be on the other side of the water pump. Let's do a new tab. And now we're looking for the water pump. I mean, it looks like that's basically well. Pump troll water pressure switch. I think this is also supposed to be for a well. I might need to do 12 volt. Wait, does that say 12 volt? No. Although, you know, I don't know if the pump that I'm looking at, let's just double check that. So the one that I'm looking at, does it have a pressure? 10 gallon, blah, blah, blah. Tank built non-pressurized tank. Plumbing kit includes 12 water. Okay, freshwater use only, open flow. I think open flow says that this is not a pump that can do pressure, right? That'd be my guess. An open flow pump is a system where flow is continuous and pressure is intermittent, where mass flows at the pump inlet and is pushed out at higher pressure at the outlet. Open flow is the flow rate through the pump where no pressure is developed. That is, if you have fluid coming in and out horizontally and the input and output are open to outside air, this is the most flow the pump will ever create. Usually, though, we use pumps to either lift fluids vertically or to pressurize a closed system. That's what I'm hoping for. In order to do either of these, you need a higher pressure on the outlet side of the motor. Yep, in these cases, the pump will run slower as it has to exert more pressure. Okay. Oh, okay, so where it's saying open flow, here, no, no. Where did it go? I thought it was, oh, here. Okay. Max amps. Okay, 45 PSI. Two hose clamps. And fill hose. Open flow, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so open flow, it's 11.6. It's got a shut-off pressure of 45 PSI, so it's going to turn itself off. On-demand pump only turns on when senses pressure changes in line, 12 volt. Okay. So this is going to manage pressure on its own. All I care about is whether or not it's on or off. It sounds like. So what I would have basically is a pressure switch on the line that does nothing more than tell me whether or not the line is pressurized. That's the only usable information I think I can get out of this. I can't turn it on. I can't turn it off. It's going to take care of that. Well, no, I can turn it on, and that's where the other guy comes into play. And then I just use the pressure switch to sense whether or not it's successfully on or off, which could give me fault data. Okay. So yeah, we're going to stick with that. We are still going to look for a You can go away, you can go away. We're still going to look for a pressure switch, but it's not going to be like this. I need an inline pressure. Inline water pressure switch. Which means I think I need one of these guys. Kind of what I was looking at before. Basically treat it like a well, and all it does is tell me whether or not it needs that power right now. Or whether or not it's actually providing pressure. There's probably Arduino water. I mean, I just want something I don't want a flow sensor, especially not a $120 flow sensor. But I just want to monitor what the pressure looks like. Squirrel. So what are they using for a pressure sensor? A water pressure sensor from DF Robot, which it's just a link to DF Robot. That's not helpful. I don't know if that's what I need. And would I be able to put a T in and just create that? Interfacing, I don't want to watch a YouTube video. I want to know, actually, let's go to the YouTube video. Maybe there is, hello, maybe there is a link to the water pressure? There is not. So what, if you're doing a project, please include where you got these things. It may not be available later, that's fine. And like I said, I feel weird putting my block water pressure. That's still $70. I feel weird putting links to the things that I'm talking about out there, but at the same time, like, I know that I've personally gone and looked for these projects and just like that one. Oh, cool, water pressure gauge. What are you using? And they just don't link it, so you have no idea. For mercury, well, these are very specific. I think these are for, yeah, like boats or for specific things. And they probably go inside the motors or something so that it makes sure that let's do Pressure transducer, sender sensor with connector. I mean, 20 bucks is a bit more like it, right? It's still got that 3 plug setup. I don't need 100 PSI. I need more than 30. Full, oh, this will give me the temperature too, which is useful. Voltage signal output. Oh, it's a 4.5, so that's useful. Powerful. How can you give me so much information and say nothing that's useful to me? I'm wondering... Okay, so there's a bit of bounce, but it's readable. And this is exactly what I need. Perfect. So I guess the 100 PSI is maybe like that's its maximum reading. I still wonder what's this mobile thing? I think I set up another associate account at some point and just don't remember. It was probably when I was doing this with, so one thing I used to do in my previous life as a researcher for emerging technologies, I would build rigs that would basically test whether or not some company that the company I worked for wanted to invest in. We would basically test their hardware or their software or whatever. And in a lot of cases, I would budget out a build for a rig to do that test. And a lot of times it was just a list of Amazon links and prices, and then just, everything comes together. So I wonder if I accidentally created, because there was one point where SiteStripe just showed up. Every time I went to Amazon, SiteStripe would show up. I don't remember when it started happening. I think I accidentally did it. And at that point in time, I would send off this list of Amazon links, and someone in procurement would just be like, click, buy, click, buy, click, buy. But when I log in and I go to that mobile influencer account, there's no money in it. So I mean, maybe I just wasn't hitting this get link button, and because I was just copying and pasting this, it never meant anything. I don't know. And this is something that's become very weird since I've started playing Diablo. There's a thing where, generally speaking, when you put your hand on a keyboard, there's a couple of ways you do it. If you were used to writing stuff, you put your index finger on the F, ASDF, right? If you're used to playing games, WASD, 100%. I've spent 3 days playing Diablo, and now I just immediately set 2, 3, 4, and my pinky is sitting on Q. It's amazing how the things that we do these things to us. All right, so this guy, with this, I'm going to need to get back over here. And for this CAN bus, oh, I've already got 3. Let's make it 4. Do I make it 4? Let's start with 3. I was thinking I need to add one, right? I need to make sure that I have the ability to, let's just make it 4. I need to make sure that I have the ability to wire one of these up to any sensors that I want to add. And if I dedicate one specifically to the water system, so it uses that pressure sensor when I do a sensor for the tank level. That one should be able to do all of those things and then just send out its packets as though it's each one of those things. It can just say, hey, I'm the water pump and here's the pressure. Oh, guess what? I'm this. And here's the water level, right? Because there's nothing that says this is my IP address. Like there's none of that identifying stuff. You write all of that into the program. So if it just identifies if it identifies as 5 things, then it is 5 things, right? It is what it identifies as. Oh, but I want to make sure, pal, nope. We want you. You are a sensor. But you don't go here. Actually, you go here. Pale. And you're going to be this one. That's the sensor I'm going to use. I need one of you. And your price was $10 million. 1979, 100 PSI. Hey, come back. Your weight is basically 0. I mean, all of these things that are 0, they're going to round up to being 1. Whatever. I guess if I'm going to add that in there, I should. Electronic water level sensor. See, it looks like this is fairly common. And it just needs something that's waterproof, not $200. This is actually not a bad idea either. If I put this underneath the tank, then I'll get a warning as well. These stupid windows, man. What's the other side of this plug? Max voltage is 24. It works down to 5. Oh, but it's okay. So it's got Arduino instruction. Very nice. This actually is going to be a fun little part of the project, actually. I was concerned about the plumbing and all that sort of stuff, but it's starting to get nerdy, and I'm here for it. We'll add it to the notes first. Make sure we get the name. And there goes my camera. Okay. That's fun. What can I plug my camera into? Man, that was unexpected. It says it's at 100%. Why would my camera shut down if the battery is at 100%? Did it overheat? One second. Why you do this to me, camera? Why am I having so many problems with heat? I don't even know if it is heat, but I mean, it's not cool. But it's not like, ow, that's hot. What's the battery say it is? Yeah, the battery's 100%. Why would it turn off? This is the downside of using phones for your videoing purposes. And we're back. Hi. That's something I'm definitely looking at is I'm going to be, when I set up filming in the warehouse, I moved the phone around. Squirrel. I moved the phone around to a number of different places. I think I've got like 4 or 5 old Android phones just, you know, sitting in a drawer. I think I'm going to install this app on all of them and just run it. This is the first time I've had a crash where it just says, hey, I'm shutting down. I wish there was some way that I could get some diagnostic info as to why it decided to just shut down. The one problem with that is that it won't allow me to record all of them at the same time. Well, when I say it, OBS will not, as far as I know, allow me to record all of them at the same time. There may be a way that I'm not thinking of. I know that you can do multi-recording, so maybe. We'll see. But yeah, the hope is to at least have 2 phone devices providing different views, and maybe I can just remember that I need to switch between them, or there is a plugin that'll just recognize which way I'm facing and automatically switch to that. That's a possibility. But then I want a third one that I can walk around with. I just got to figure out how to do all of that. There's nothing quite like taking something that you've never done and you're learning how to do and adding filming to it. You know, because it's not hard enough as is. What did I copy here? The name. And the link. And 1, and the price. That's pretty cool that I just, like, this was not what I was looking for, but that's only because I didn't know I was looking for it. And it's basically also 0. All right, let's go back to the transducer. Now, what was I looking for? So if I've got pressure and now I have leak, what was the other thing I was looking for? Well, let's look at electronic. Oh, the level sensor. Right. Non-contact liquid level sensor. Contactless water level sensor. Externally attached pipe water float. I think this will only tell me if it's full. Is installed above and below the outer wall of the container. Yeah, so this is only going to tell me if it's full. It's not going to give me an actual level. But for 15 bucks, if I put 2 of them on, or 3 of them, let's not look at, I mean, that's $45, right, for a couple of sensors. I'm fairly certain, it's fuel, we don't want that. I'm fairly certain that there's something that I can use that, like the ultrasonic, but not $250. What are you? This product is designed according to the actual needs of home, business, etc. Okay. There's no way that I'm going to go download that outside of a VM. It's one of the worst things about dealing with security in any way. You start realizing how many things are just very easily traps. Reviewing this product and similar products, I couldn't tell if this device worked with float switches. Okay. The picture, none of the pictures are this picture. Right? Oh, I see. It's there. It's just, those are the, okay. Contactless level sensor. Using a liquid level sensor, the part of the sensor immersed in the liquid should not exceed the part marked in red. It looks like this just says, it touched this, it's full now. For $1 less. Oh, it does say contact. I thought it said contactless. I mean, I guess I could use just a float kind of jobby, but I mean, that's basically what I'm looking at right there. High, medium, low. And it's about that amount. These things, by the way, these little clampy holder things, super useful. All right. I think what that says is I'm looking at something like this still. Water drop, water depth. Is there a picture of this working? Used to create additional leak sensors on alarm sensors by wiring sensor. That's the return policy. Water sensor is an easy-to-use, cost-effective water level water drop detection sensor. It measures water drop volume by a series of exposed wires to track. Easily complete the conversion of water volume to analog signal. I'm gonna bet this means it's touching it, and that's not what I want. Yeah, I think I just need to go with like this guy. So I'll have full and then maybe like low. I think those are my options, at least as far as like not spending $1 million, only spending maybe 30. This is going to be 2, and they were what, $13.99? Why do I keep clicking on that? Down to the bottom, $14.98. Some Costco pricing there. And also going to be 0. Yeah, this honestly seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm kind of looking forward to messing with the water setup. It's much farther down the line in the timeline. Where do I have water? Maintenance structure, modding the trailer, electrical. Order metal for power structure. So that's the first thing I've got to do when I'm dealing with that. And it's going to be from wherever I do this. So I may end up ordering everything at once here. But I should change this to be order metal for Rex. And I do definitely need to call those metal suppliers. I need to figure out the situation there. I don't know how much delivery is going to cost me. I'm dreading that one. I'm trying to make this as budget friendly as possible. I mean, I'm already about $1,800 more than I wanted, and I'm hoping that I'm going to make that back. I'm going to make that up on this side of things, because that's the only thing I've currently got priced out as absolute full price, no sale. Although I don't need you. And this is still a maybe. I don't even have any plate. I don't have this in. I didn't include this in my build layout. So we shall see. All right, so I'm ordering 2 of these guys today. 2 of these guys today. And 4 of these guys today. Yep. That's what I be. I'm not sure where to go from here. Well, actually, that's not entirely true, because I am curious. I'm curious what the programming side of this is going to look like. Oh, this does create 5 volts. That's something I need. I was thinking I was going to have to do 5 volts on the outside. I've got some of the electronics already in place to be able to do that. Water break. And you can't hear me. This guy. If you care about camping or outdoor gear at all, the outdoor gear review, that guy is ridiculous. I'm sure at some point there'll be a scandal that breaks that says he's funded by, I don't know, Best Buy or something, but he buys all of his stuff. He is always honest about his, well, he always seems to be 100% honest. Everything that he's said about a product that I later bought was true. So he gives you the pros, the cons, whatever. He doesn't really say, go and buy this, but he does say, like, this is a good value for what you get, or, you know, things along those lines. It's pretty cool. Water break over. Alright, so what's... There we go. What's the program look like here? I don't want to do it in Python. I have a feeling that if anybody who actually programs watches this, they're going to be like, why not? What's the matter with Python? Nothing's really the matter with Python. I'm not a huge fan of it. But that's kind of it. And I feel like if I do CircuitPython, I'm just going to have to teach myself something new. Whereas if I do it on the Arduino, yeah, I think manually into the bootloader. I need to finish my sentence sandwiches. I wonder if the Arduino IDE is just using CircuitPython on the back end, because the only thing they show you is loading. The Raspberry Pi is supposed to basically be Linux. It takes the board and makes it blink. Okay. Nope, this is 100% Arduino style. So the Raspberry Pi board will take Arduino instructions. Connecting, converting. Converting to UF2. What is UF2? UF2, not standard. UF2, it's just UF2. Unforgettable fire. UF2 file format. USB flashing format. So it's U and two Fs. Can we stop being clever with file names? Just call it UFF. Can we just knock it off? Great, now where did that go? Oh, right here. No device found on blah, blah, blah. Modern chips often have native USB. That means that there's no separate chip for the USB interface. It's all in one. Great for cost savings, simplicity, reduced size, more control. However, it means the chip must be self-aware enough to be able to put itself into bootload. That's fine, but it's very likely you will at some point get the board into an odd state that makes it too confused to bootload. Before continuing, we really suggest turning on verbose upload. Okay. Finally, a blink. Not worried about I2C, although that's kind of cool. I'm worried about the CAN bus side of things. So in this case, the idea is that you can test two CAN bus feathers by connecting. So I'd be connecting them directly. But I'd want to recreate the wiring for the RVC and just connect them onto it, right? If the dependencies are already installed, you must make sure to update them. Cool. So this defines the pins as the things. Okay, so There's got to be something more than writing each one of these packets by hand. So I guess I need to look at the library. I need to find the can Adafruit. I need to find this library. You'd think that had a link to it right there. Is that the right one? M5709? It is not. I need to find the forks, I guess. Oh wait, there's two branches. Just main, okay. Nope, not what we're after. Can I do here? There's just the examples. Okay. This does all the definition. Okay, so this is just, that's saying on receive. That's, there's gotta be, there's gotta be a better way than this, right? Right? On receive, filter, filter, observe, loop back, sleep, wake up, reset, handle, interrupt, register. Where is right? There's only that. All right, so you include this. And then you define it as MCP. There should be an MCP right in here somewhere, right? Did I miss it? I want the whole word. I must have missed it. this is all right register. So how does it get the dot right? How does that get defined? I don't like it. Because MCP, like even begin packet and end packet, where does that come into play? I think I'm gonna have to get my hands on one, because if you can write world, or you can write W, you should be able to write the whole thing, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get too far into exactly how this is without having my mitts on it. More Dunsparce. Done caught. Maybe. I still just can't believe this is sold out. Mind blown. I bet this is sold out now. No? Okay. I may be considering this right now. Or I might just have to get up early. Maybe they'll have it again tomorrow. I can hope. Ugh, makes me sad. Hey, they have an affiliate program? I mean, I talk about them a lot. Sign up, advertise, earn. Oh, but I have to use one of these other programs. I don't know, maybe I'll look into it. I mean, I am going to be talking about them a lot. I may as well. Hey, I caught the Dunsparce. Let's have a quick squirrel moment, shall we? Dunsparce, Delibird. I have caught 5 today. Nope. Grapple locked. I think that's an already evolved one, right? Oh, but it was. Wow, fantastic, but horrible. One horrible. That's all it takes, right? Delibird. These are the creepiest things. Because if I remember right, they're called Delibird because they're delicious. Quick sanity check. Let's see. Delibird mythology. Described as the delivery bird. Delibird. Is it delicious? Wait, what? Oh, okay. It's like, is that an actual service? one of my Delibirds was decent. Which one? Which Pokemon were they chasing? Because it was in one of the cartoons. No, Pokemon cartoon. Eating Pokemon? There was a food theory on it. Tasty, nutritious Slowtail. And I swear that there was a thing where there was a specific bird, and I thought it was Delibird. No other food source has yet been explained. All we know is that whenever people eat Pokemon, bad things happen. Smoked tail curry. And not Miltank steak. Maybe it was far-fetched. Yeah, I think it was far-fetched. I mean, there's the Magikarp as well, yeah. And then Miltank, yeah. I mean, it's got the steaks. Slowpoke tails. Yeah, I mean, but I think it was, I'm thinking of the bird with the leak, not Delibird. Because I do remember that they said that they basically ate it to extinction, so how was that for a squirrel? Well, I think after that sidetrack, I've kind of reached a point where I'm good for today. We've reached a point where we added a little bit of extra. I've got to do a little bit more homework on getting some of this stuff ordered, basically, and figure out my next step. Yeah. I honestly may spend the next couple of days playing games, because why not? The hard part is I'm not at the location, so I can't really get the work going. And once I get the electronics in, I'm not going to want to do that on site. I'm going to be doing that here. I'll have to have another camera so I can, face down show, which is good. I'll have a second camera set up. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. So yeah, got a bit done, a little bit more added to the timeline. I've got some homework. Like I said, got about a half hour to go through and start ordering the things I'm going to order and getting them in so that next week I can start working with them. So as always, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for making it this far. Really cool of you. If you're on Twitch and didn't say hi next time. If you have any questions about what I'm doing or why I'm making these decisions and I wasn't clear enough. And as always, there'll be a breakdown of the things that I covered, why I covered them, in the video announcement on connectedme.com. And I'll put all of this, all of the links of what I looked at in the show notes as well. Yeah, so I know that I am out of here. Have fun, everyone. Do something you like doing.